Tim?
Just what were the emotions as you saw? Well, Brandin wasn't feeling great, and then Jimmy go down, right? Kind of in a real quick succession there. What were you thinking? What was that emotion like?
There's really no time to even feel any emotion. You just respond and react with what you have to do in terms of, making a sub and trying to think about new substitution patterns, who you want to pair together, all that kind of stuff. So obviously feel terrible for Jimmy. Hopefully he's okay. We'll see. He's going to get an MRI tomorrow. And BP, really proud of him for making the effort. He's been feeling terrible all day, and he tried. He got an IV at halftime, just didn't have it. So tough night. We'll bounce back.
Talk to Jimmy at all postgame?
Yeah.
Are you optimistic, or are you just kind of?
Jimmy always says he's going to be fine. But we have to wait to see with the MRI.
What did you think of the foul, or how he went down? Did you think it was in?
I haven't seen the replay. I asked our guys behind the bench, and they just said it looked like there was some physicality on the rebound, and I think Thompson inadvertently found himself underneath Jimmy just based on the tug of war that was going on there. So we didn't think there was anything wrong with the play. It's just one of those plays.
What did you generally think of just kind of the physicality and tension that seems to be rising in this series?
Yeah, Houston played great. They were really physical. Just like we expected, they came out with amazing force defensively, and obviously Green got going, and that that loosened our defense up quite a bit, and so it was their night. They played a great game at both ends of the floor, and so we just got to lick our wounds and back to work tomorrow.
You got Steve. You got pretty hot in the first quarter. Got pretty contentious. What were you talking about there? What was your?
Just the usual stuff. It's playoff time. Everybody's hyped up. I think I was mad because Gary got tripped. Gary had a dunk, clearly got tripped, and I thought there should have been a foul called, and it wasn't. But, the stuff happens, and I thought, tonight's game was all about Houston just outplaying us.
Did you say anything to Draymond after that fourth quarter? It seemed like he got a little chippy.
I haven't talked to Draymond yet. So it's he's a competitor. He's always going to be in the mix, and so I'll ride with Draymond forever. The guy's an amazing winner and competitor, and it's not ideal when a crowd is chanting "F you, Draymond." It's just I don't know. It did it in Boston a few years ago in the finals. It is what it is.
Is that something that you guys talk about prior to the games?
I'm sorry?
Is that something you guys talked to Draymond about prior to the games?
No, he's been around forever. He's an instigator. He's always going to be in the mix, and because of his career, his championships, his fire, he's going to be a lightning rod, and that's all part of it. I would prefer, if fans could use a little more discretion and, remember that, the guy has kids, and, it's like there's kids. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school, but I'm all for the fans cheering for their team, and if they want to yell at the opponents, great, but I don't know. I just think FU it's a little much.
Steve, after Jimmy went out, did you notice the Warriors maybe key in on Steph a little bit, or what did you notice from how they defended you
after
all?
Jimmy went out?
After Jimmy went out.
Well, they were keyed on Steph anyway. They're going to be really aggressive. They're going to blitz him. Obviously, we've got to be able to counter that. We had too many turnovers. against that pressure. So they were blitzing him, and they got the ball out of his hands a little bit, and we weren't able to counter and generate enough good offense to win the game.
Obviously, you've always got to be ready to play, even if you're out of the rotation. Did you feel like Jonathan was ready? What did you see
Yeah,
from
Jonathan
him?
was ready. He's been great. He's been preparing every single day, keeping a great attitude. Game 1 he was on the bench cheering the entire time. He's a great young guy. JK's an awesome young guy, and his teammates respect him and pull for him. And he stayed ready and got some minutes, and it's good because we may need him, and he needed to develop a little rhythm after missing the last few games.
Specifically, if Jimmy is out or limited, is Kuminga the natural next kind of guy into the rotation?
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. I mean, we have to. If Jimmy's out, we have to rethink, everything like rotations and who starts and the best combinations and all that stuff.
Kind of following up on that, I mean, obviously Jimmy's a great, invaluable player, but how does your dynamic change, and how will it have to change if he can't play in Game 3?
I think it's just too early for me to even talk about that. We have to watch the film, and we have to figure out, what our plan would be. This is the playoffs. This is, it's an incredibly physical sport. Stuff happens. People get injured, and it's all part of it. And there's no time to lament anything. You can feel bad for your player, but you have to move on to what's next. And, so that's hopefully Jimmy will be able to play. But if not, then we've got to go through our options and put together a plan.
Having rewatched the film, what did you think of how they defended Steph?
How they defended Steph? Well, they were physical with him, blitzed him quite a bit. He got himself into a couple of spots where he got into trouble with the dribble, but he's Steph Curry. I mean, he's just amazing what he's able to play through, physicality, blitzing, trapping, all that stuff. So he did a great job. We just didn't have enough tonight.
What did you think of your guys' competitive level? You got Pat Spencer jumping in with 9 points.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Do you think there was a fight shown by you guys?
No, it was a great fight by our guys. I thought Loon came in, gave us really good minutes. For Pat to just come off the bench and give us some offense and generate some good possessions. Quentin Post knocking down some threes. I thought our guys really fought, and it's a 10-point game after the first quarter. That's when they really kind of punched us in the mouth, and we hung in there. We didn't make it all the way back, but we competed and we hung in there, and I'm proud of the guys.
How do you view just splitting the first 2 games? What kind of position does that put you guys in?
Well, we
going forward?
wanted 2, but we didn't get 2. We got 1, and they're a hell of a team. They're the 2 seed for a reason, and so it's a good trip. Not a great trip, but it's a good trip, and excited to get home and play in front of our home crowd.
Steve, was Gary okay? Because it looked like he was stretching out his back on the sideline.
I don't know. Yeah.